decided yet. But when I say glow up for the summer, which I know some of you are going to be like, if you're younger than me, you're going to say, we don't say that anymore. I don't know what else to say, but you know what I mean, like to really feel your absolute best self for this summer. And I'm gonna focus more on wellness things, kind of like physically, but not superficially. You'll understand as I go. But let's remember that we are doing these things for ourselves and nobody else. And when I say like look your best, for me that stems from internally. And again, I know that sounds cheesy, but I genuinely mean it. If I don't feel my best physically, that affects my mood, which is really sad. But sometimes genuinely it could be that I feel really uncomfortable, or like, for example, we're gonna get into it, but like spark notes, if I'm not hydrated enough, I get headaches. If I either maybe eat something that I know doesn't agree with me or whatever, and I feel bloated, I feel physically uncomfortable, so that can affect my mood. It can affect the way I interact with others, because I notice it myself. When I feel my best physically, like nothing's bothering me, I feel 100% myself, I'm talking to this one and that one, and I'm thoroughly enjoying the conversations. Whereas when I don't feel well, I'm like, oh, when can I go home and put on sweatpants? You know what I mean? So for me, if I don't feel well physically, then it's hard for me to put my best self forward when I am out and about. So this summer, I really just want to like be super comfortable in my own skin, feel good physically, feel healthy, and that will transfer into other areas of my life. So that is my goal. So I wrote down 7 things that I have been doing, trying to implement, that either I've just started doing or I've been doing for a while, and I'm going to put my big sister hat on and recommend these things to you. I'm not saying you have to do them. Maybe you pick one, maybe you don't pick any and you're just here for the rambling. That's cool too. But I do genuinely, I get questions sometimes like, how do you stay in, I'm not in the best shape in the world, but how do you stay in good shape? How do you do this? How do you balance this? So I figured I would touch on those things today. So we're gonna start out, the first 2 are very, very simple. And the very first one is your water intake. I see how common it is just with people around me day to day, how easy it is to forget to drink water. I see it's different for me because I'm not a coffee drinker, I'm not a soda drinker. So during the day, especially a work day, I don't really have anything else to drink, because I don't drink coffee or soda or whatever. But if you do, sometimes you forget, like, oh, I should balance this out with water. I have a coworker, for example, love him, and it's like a running joke that I'm like, have you had water today? And he'll lift up his coffee and I'll be like, well, there's water in coffee. I'm like, that's not the same. So cat hair, sorry. That's just like a little running joke, but it's true. Water is so important. Like I said before, if I don't drink enough water, personally, I get a headache right across my forehead. Also, if it's summertime and I'm dehydrated, you're hot outside, I get really lightheaded. I have a history of fainting. If you've been around for a while, you probably know that. I haven't fainted in a while. Don't worry, it's been a little while, but I do have a history of that. So I drink. I remember when I was in my weight loss journey a couple years ago, I was drinking like a gallon a day. I know people that still drink that much. I do not. I personally dietitian. I'm not even close, like not even a little bit. But my personal opinion, I don't think you need to drink a gallon of water a day. Although it did help with my weight loss at the time, but I personally drink about 80 ounces of water a day. I have my tumbler. It doesn't have to be an expensive one, but if you get like a nice water bottle, a reusable water bottle, I swear, it sounds stupid, it really will encourage you to drink more water. It just is what it is. I don't know. I've heard so many people agree with me on that. I have a 40-ounce one and I refill it once a day, and boom, that's my water intake for the day. Drink 2 of those, done. So it's just water. You just need to be hydrated. It'll also do wonders on your skin. My skin's been going through it a little bit, even just like the last 2 weeks, like it was doing wonderfully, and then the next 2 weeks I've been breaking out like along my jaw a little bit. So one of my goals for this summer is to like go to the beach and go to the pool and feel so comfortable not having any makeup on. Even if I did have acne all over my face and I didn't want to wear makeup, that would still be okay. But as someone who struggled with acne since she was like 11, it's just like a deep rooted insecurity in me now. Maybe some of you can relate. So it just goes hand in hand with being comfortable in your own skin. So that's one of my goals. So water really helps with that. So increase your water intake. That's easy. Water's free. Usually. I just refill it at home or at work. The next one, 10,000 steps a day. I know that sounds so scary and like unachievable. Maybe you rack up more steps than you think. Steps, like think about how quick steps are. They add up real quick. I walk for about an hour every morning. You could do it after work. You could do it on your lunch break. If you have a walking pad or a treadmill, you could even do it at home. Think about when you come home and you watch Netflix or whatever, watch one of your favorite shows for an hour or two. In that time, you could get some steps in. I have heard people say that, like people that are much more knowledgeable on this stuff than me, that sometimes that those 10,000 steps are even more important than most other workouts that you do. It's very, very important to get your body moving and start off slow. Go for a 15-minute walk and then a 30-minute walk. Sometimes I do my 3 miles in like 50 minutes, not even a full hour. And start off slow and like build your way up, but it really does make such a difference. It's good for your joints because you're moving. It's good for your muscles and your legs. My calves, stay strong. So increase your steps. I have a watch, so it's much easier for me to track it because it tracks my steps for me. It's not like you're gonna count 10,000 steps, but it really makes a difference, and it also makes a difference mentally. I don't know how to explain it, but moving your body and then like afterwards knowing that you moved your body that much, it just, working out gives you natural serotonin. It is what it is. And so moving your body helps uplift your mood. And now that it's getting nicer out, depending on where you live in the world, now that it's getting nicer out, you also get vitamin D, you get fresh air, you get to hear the birds, you get to see little bunny rabbits. We have bunny rabbits around here sometimes, just out in the wild. It's just such a mood booster, and it's so good for your body. So start off slow, but I try to hit my 10,000 steps every day, and it's really important. So, okay, the next thing I have written down, that this is kind of new for me, the other 2 things I've been doing, but this is kind of new, is electrolytes. Now, I used to only drink electrolytes when I knew I was is going to have some alcohol because I'm old, and not old, you guys yell at me when I say I'm old, 29, turning 29 in a month, but my body just doesn't react to alcohol very well, even if it's just 1 or 2. It just, my body, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good in my head. So I know if I'm going on a bachelorette, for example, and I'm gonna have a couple drinks throughout the day, electrolytes, or when I went to Vegas, for example, and it was 110 degrees and I knew I was gonna be hot again, history of fainting, I was like, oh, I'm gonna bring electrolytes with me. So I'm not necessarily new to electrolytes, but what's new to me is that it is very important to have as part of your like daily routine. I don't do it every single day right now, but I have been doing it a little bit more, and I am going to start doing it a little more often, and I'll show you what I am going to be using. I have used this before, but I just bought one of my own to have here. The first time I used it was from Jay's stash, and so I got one of my own. Electrolytes, obviously good for hydration. That salt, that like the good salts and minerals that you need for your body. It's also good for regulating your heart rate. It's good for your muscles. It's good for again, just keeping you hydrated. So I have used in the past Liquid IV for pretty much every time I wanted to take electrolytes, again, bachelorettes or going to the beach knowing it's hot or whatever. And not that long ago, I asked Jay, I was like, every time I have Liquid IV, I feel really, really bloated. And for one stick of Liquid IV, it's 50 calories. You may have heard me before say this in the past. I prefer to not drink my calories. That's all I'm gonna say about calories, I promise. I have always stuck by that, again, because I'm not a coffee drinker and not a soda drinker, so that's just the way my mind works, unless I'm gonna go out and have a couple cocktails or whatever. So I was like, that's kind of high, and for something that makes me really bloated. And so he's really good with ingredients and stuff, and he was like, well, Liquid IV, it has some good things in it, but it also has cane sugar. It has like things that make you bloated, and it's higher in sugar, which you don't necessarily want. You want the salt part. I'm still learning, but once he told me that, I was like, oh, alright, that makes a lot of sense. So I have Liquid IV left over, because I don't want to throw it away, but I'm not going to be using it as much. So this is what I'm going to start using it. I've had it before. It's very good. It's the Santa Cruz Paleo electrolytes, and I have the lemonade flavor. I will put the link below. If it's not there, yell at me in the comments and remind me, and I will put it. I bought it on Amazon. I'm not gonna lie to you. Is it the cheapest thing in the world? No. Unfortunately, the way our world works, the things that are good for you are more expensive. That's a whole other conversation. It gets me fired up. We won't talk about that. But anyway, this is really good for you. And 1 scoop, we talk about calories one more time. 1 scoop is 1 calorie. You know, it's like, it's nothing. It's nothing, and it's good for you. Now, he does this every single day. Will I do it every single day? No. But as it's starting to get hot outside, I will be, on weekends when I'm out and about, I will be, if I go on my walks or whatever, if I do my 3 miles outside, for example, I will be, or just days where I feel like I need a little extra energy or something, I will be using it. So this is what I'm going to be using. Again, Santa Cruz Paleo. It's keto friendly, if that is important to you. It's sugar free, it's gluten free, and there should be about 30 servings in here. So you just put it in a glass of water. Boom. It's got sea salt, Himalayan pink salt, natural flavor, magnesium, potassium, and stevia. So yeah, those are important as well. I kind of want to do on either Instagram or maybe YouTube Shorts as well, like a finding healthier alternatives video. So like, if you like, for example, if you like Liquid IV, you'll like this instead. If you like this, you'll like this. So let me know if that's something you would be do a whole video on it because I don't think it would be long enough. But a YouTube short or a non-ASMR version on like Instagram or TikTok, let me know, because that's something I'm thinking about. Okay, now going back to skin again, as someone who struggled with acne for a very long time, thank goodness I don't struggle with it too much anymore. But I even used to get like bumps and breakouts on my shoulders, on my back. It's normal, and for a really long time I was really ashamed of it. I remember I was much younger, but man, I didn't wear a tank top for I don't even know how many years. I was much younger. I didn't wear a tank top for so many years, and it's a terrible feeling. But if that's you and you can really remember that it is normal and it's not your fault, but there are ways that you can help your skin, and they are things that I still do to this day. The first thing, I was a very late bloomer to this, but having a separate towel for your face than you do for your body when it comes to drying yourself after a shower. So when I get out of a shower, I have a hair towel, a body towel. My body towel never goes on my hair, because then whatever is in my hair, even if it's just residue from conditioner, or you use leave-in conditioner or whatever, if that gets on your towel and then you're drying your body with that towel, goodbye. That would be endgame for me. It would not be good, because you don't want those chemicals and those products on your skin. Those get into your pores, especially after a shower and your pores are open. You just don't want it. So separate towel for my hair, separate towel for my body, separate towel for my face. I just use washcloth. Separate towels. I learned that. I think I started doing that when I moved here. So I was 6. I was in my mid-20s. I don't know. Either way, I was a late bloomer to that. So that changed my life. And then also in the shower, you do not want to just wash with your hands. You want something that is going to exfoliate. It does not have to be so intense where you're like making your skin raw, but you want to scrape off any dead skin. Circular motions. You can use a washcloth. I use something specifically. It's kind of like a loofah for your body. You want to exfoliate. You gotta get that stuff off, because honestly, your hands not gonna do much. So think about it as like taking off a layer of skin and letting a new layer come back, a nice clean fresh layer. So exfoliate in the shower, and separate towels for face, hair, body. I didn't even write this down, but I will also say satin pillowcases, or silk pillowcases. Less damage on your hair, better for your face and your skin. So what I do, it's a little psycho, but when I change my sheets, I put the pillowcases that came with the sheet set, and I try not to ever sleep on the same side of a pillow more than once. So I have 4 pillows, right? So I can get 4 nights of sleep on those pillows. One side, the next night flip it over, the next night switch pillows, flip it over, and then after that, those 4 days, I put the silk pillowcases on, and I do the same thing. You want to sleep on something fresh, because whatever is on that pillowcase is going to seep into your face while you're sleeping. I used to wake up with breakouts all the time, and I'm like, where did this come from? This wasn't there yesterday. What? Once I switched pillowcases, try it. Amazon. It'll change your life, and they're not expensive. I think I bought like 6 of them at a time, and I just keep them looping, and then as I do laundry and stuff, it's just like a constant cycle. So I try my absolute best to do that. Now the next one, I need to move a little faster. The next one, I'm not gonna tell you need to eat breakfast, because it's your life. It's your choice. What I will say, if you are going to eat breakfast, make it a good one. I have been noticing and I think I've kind of talked about this recently, if I eat more earlier in the day, I am less snackish throughout the day. And don't get me wrong, I still like my snacks. I think snacking is good. But I am left more satisfied earlier in the day so that it doesn't affect me later in the day. So that's why they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And we kind of like take that for granted. We're like, yeah, we know that. But when you really think about it, there's a lot of truth to that. So what I've been doing is I've been having a much bigger breakfast, then a little tiny lunch, and then I have dinner. And then like with my lunch I'll have some popcorn, and then with my dinner I'll have some fruit. But if you're gonna have breakfast, make it a good one. Get bang for your buck. More bang for your buck is adding protein. Keeps you full longer, keeps you satisfied, and it's pretty good for you. And if you are someone who works out, if you lift or run or whatever, and you're really exercising your muscles, that protein is going to be good for you. It helps in your recovery. So, who am I? Anyway, so if you're gonna have breakfast, make it a good one, make it a hearty one. So like I have like 2 eggs, 2 turkey sausages, and either like 2 squares of Parmesan cheese, or I just leave it at the eggs and the sausage, or I'll have like a Greek yogurt and some sausage, or like I just mix it up, or I'll have 2 eggs and I'll mix it with half an avocado, maybe put a little feta cheese on top. That keeps me full. I can't have eggs every single day though. I can't do that. So I try to like 4 days a week I'll have eggs, and then the other days I'll switch it up. I really don't think like, again, not a nutrition or fitness influencer, but I don't think it has to be so black and white. I think you just gotta do what works for you. There's no right, there's no wrong. But in my experience, I will tell you that making it a really good hearty breakfast helps you for the rest of the day. Now, this is all pointing back to things that are going to make you feel good and make you feel like your best self. So I want to talk about fashion a little bit. We live in a world that is made up of trends all the time. Like, I scroll TikTok sometimes and they're usually younger girls, but it's like, okay girls, like they'll make TikToks and they'll be like, okay girls, what shorts are we wearing this summer? And I'm like, alright, why we all gotta wear the same thing? Like, where did the individuality go? And don't get me wrong, I like a good trend. I will own up to it. Some trends, yes, I will jump on the bandwagon. But I don't think we all have to wear the same thing all the time, and then 2 months later it's not in style anymore, and then it just is too much. So what I will say is focus a little less on trends and like what's trendy, and focus more on what flatters your body type. So for example, this time of year I don't really like wearing denim too much, especially when it's hot. So I wear a lot of linen pants. They look good on me. They are flattering. They're not skin tight. They're light. I can pair them easily with like staple pieces. And is that super trendy right now? Probably not. But it's what makes me feel the most confident. And so I can walk into a room at work, or I can walk into, I don't know, a meeting, or we have a guest come in the studio and I have to go greet them. I can walk with my head up because I feel good. And that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody has to look at me all the time and be like, ooh, where'd she get that outfit? Like, that doesn't need to happen. It's just about what I feel good in, because it's true. The way you choose to present yourself affects the way you walk, the way you talk, your posture. If you really think about it, it's true. And my parents always kind of told me that. They were like, what, it is kind of a shame sometimes, but if you really want people to look at you a certain way, you gotta make sure that you are put together and presentable. And what goes hand in hand in that, again, is what looks good on you. What looks good on me may not look good on somebody else. And I can tell you plenty of other things that people wear right now that do not look good on me, and that I just already know that I'm not going to feel confident in it. Whereas in years past, I would still buy it because everybody else was buying it, and I'd be like, oh, but I can make it work, and then it would sit in my closet for 2 years, and then I would donate it. It's a waste of money, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of space. So I'm at a point now where I know what looks good on me and what doesn't, and I follow that with a little help, outside help from trends, but it's about what I know is gonna work for me. Does that make sense? So focus on what looks good on you and don't worry about anybody else. And so with all that, those were my 7 things. And so all of those were technically about presentation overall, but like I said in the beginning of the video, it has to come from in here. That's what you're doing it for. You're not doing it for everybody else. We live in a world that is so like, and I'm saying this as a content creator, so I am absolutely guilty of it, and I am self-aware. We live in a world that it's almost like, if you didn't share it, did it happen? If I didn't show all of my friends and my mom's friends on Facebook and my friends from work on Instagram and blah, 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 if I didn't share it, did it happen? You want to constantly share things, and kind of almost to an extent it's like showing off, but you really gotta remember what you're doing it for. And I check myself all the time, like, why am I doing this? Is that gonna benefit me? No. Is it gonna make me feel good? No. But this is gonna make me feel good, so you know what, I should stick with that. And then I'm telling you, you find what works for you, because there could be things that I didn't even put on this list that you know are good for you. And like, think about it. If you do those things more, do you walk with your head higher? Do you walk with your shoulders back? Do you walk with a smile on your face? You know, do you feel good? Do you feel light? And it makes a difference. So those are just my big sister tips for you. I was thinking about it today, and I just wrote a couple things down on my phone that I wanted to share with you. So I hope they make a difference. If you have any questions, please let me know. I always look forward to reading your comments, especially on topics like this down below. So let me know if you want to talk about this more. Let me know if you want to talk about it less.